Some more random kick-ass facts, but pew pew pew! Victorian headless portraits were a fad in Britain in the late 19th century. In the photographs, the model's head appears to be separated from its body. Often the sitter holds its head in its own hands. Although this genre is called headless portraiture, it is the head that is always present in the photograph, although sometimes the body may be absent. The demand for such photographs was so high that many Victorian photographers openly advertised this as a specialty. Ball bearers? Folks with scrotes? Have you ever wondered where that stitch scar looking thing running along the underside of your scrotum is? You haven't? Well, that's too bad, because you're going to find out. All humans basically begin development from the same starting point. We all start off as a sperm and an egg and then kind of go off from there based on our genetics and chromosomes. Boy and girl embryos are pretty much indistinguishable until about 9 weeks into pregnancy, at which point they start to develop their own personal set of parts. The scar on the bottom of your ball sack, medically known as a scrotal raphe, forms during the development of the genitals. The tissue in boy and girl babies where your T-bags develop is the same, and it's called labioscrotal swellings. It just develops into different things depending on whether the child has a Y chromosome or not. For females, this tissue develops into the outer labia, whereas if the baby is male, then the labioscrotal swellings will fuse together and develop into the scrotum, otherwise known as your ball sack. On average, you will use your left hand for 56% of what you type on a keyboard if you type properly, and not all over the place. This is because most of the common letters in the English language are on the left side of the keyboard. The right side of the keyboard only contains I and N as its most common letters. Putting sugar on a cut will make it heal faster. Def Leppard was onto something. Pour some sugar on top of the wound and wrap it with a bandage. The granules of the sugar crystals will absorb any moisture the bacteria thrive on. Without the bacteria, the wound heals more quickly. A jiffy is a proper unit of time. It is exactly 1/100th of a second. April 11th, 1954 was recorded as the most boring day in the world. Statistics show that no significant occurrences took place in the world. This was calculated by a computer search program that could calculate the number of important events that occur all over the world simultaneously. If you were born on that day, don't come at me. I don't make the rules. I just report them. Children are born less frequently on Saturdays. Among all the days in the week, most children were born on a Thursday. I'm a Wednesday over here. Babies born on weekends in December, also the least common. You can't hum while holding your nose. I already tried it. I couldn't. You tried it too, didn't you? I know you did. After mating with a female, the male bee's endophallus is removed. Its abdomen also rips open and results in the male bee's death. A snail has 2,500 teeth. These teeth can be found on the tongue that's covered in ridges. Snails eat by rubbing their tongue on its food while the ridges cut it into tiny pieces. Tiny pieces? A snail is... You can die from staying awake for 2 weeks straight. Sleep deprivation can cause mental and motor responses to become unstable, thus causing a higher risk to your safety. I learned that watching Star Trek Next Generation when they had this game that they played and none of them fell into REM sleep. Thanks, Star Trek.